Hi there everyone, this is Keshava Mysore here. Today we are at the University of Notre Dame campus to do some tryouts of Arsenal after their latest update 8.51, not yet their new version. Let's see how it works out. So this is my setup here. I use it with Nikon D750. For the smart mode to work well, they recommend it to be in aperture priority mode and focus to be in the matrix mode. I set up both of them as per the recommendation, and here is the scenery that we'll be working on. That's the Notre Dame main dome, also called Golden Dome, and the church spire. This is the same scenery that I have worked with earlier, so we will see how this works out, and I will be reviewing these images later, as well as recording the app as a screencast to show how things work. I have been using this from past 1.5 months. I'll put the specific date on the screen, and it has been working out quite well for me, even though there are some issues that I have spoken about earlier. And many of those things, I should say, have improved. I will put out a video soon about those improvements, and we'll see how this works here now. Now that the shooting is done, let us check how did the app or device performed and how the images look. I will also make some general comments at the end about the device or app based on my usage of it from past more than 2 months. I use the app on an iPhone 5s and the version I am using is 8.51. The latest version as of this video is being made. Please note that some or most of the things I talk about here is a repeat of my previous videos, but this is the first time I managed to record the app and myself out when I was trying the Arsenal device or app. Once the app is connected to the device, it takes you directly to the smart module of the Arsenal. To start live streaming, tap on the eye icon on the top right hand side of the app, and within a couple of seconds, live view should be on. Before we go further, let us check the camera auto mode of the scene. The image is slightly overexposed and there are some highlights that could be recovered. Let us see how Arsenal performs in this situation. Let us start with single point focus. The focusing itself is quite fast and it could be fine-tuned if needed with the magnifying loop. Once set, trigger the camera, and here is the image from that. The image is well exposed and sharp. The Arsenal smart mode single point focus is on the left side and the camera auto is on the right side. When compared with camera auto mode, there is a significant recovery of highlights and details in it. Now let us check the multi-point focus. The maximum focus points one can focus here is 4. It takes approximately 2 minutes to focus all 4 points, set optimal focus distance and aperture for all the points. This is a significant improvement from previous versions, and I hope if this can be improved more in the future, it will be great. Once the focus is set and locked, trigger the image. Here is the image. This has definitely improved significantly when compared with single point focus, and also the image is significantly sharper as well. The last of these focus modes is the whole scene focus. It takes approximately 44 seconds to focus the entire scene. This is a significant improvement from previous versions. Once set, trigger the camera. On first attempt, the image is not in focus at all. This is a problem I have faced before and I talk about it in other videos as well. But let us try to focus it again. This time it took approximately 78 seconds to focus the whole scene, and now how does this looks? While the focus has improved, it is not completely sharp when compared with the 4-point focus image. Lots of improvement is needed in this module. The next operation we will be testing is the exposure bracketing, otherwise called HDR by most of us. There are two ways of achieving it: auto and fixed mode. In auto mode, the app or device is supposed to decide if multiple shots are required or not for a particular scene. I have used the auto mode quite many times in past 2 months or so. I have never seen the app or device deciding to use it. This could be because the scene didn't need it, or simply because it is not yet able to write back DNG files to SD card. It is not bothering to do it. Anyway, let us set it to auto mode from the settings of the app, trigger the camera, and let us check the image. The image looks well exposed and balanced, but there are some shadows that could be recovered, and when compared to whole scene focus image, it is quite similar. Let us see how does the fixed mode of exposure bracketing performs. To set up exposure bracketing, head back to the settings and tap on fixed to get into the settings of how many shots and at what exposure value intervals it should be. It can shoot up to 9 shots. Let us start with 3 shots and with a gap of 1 exposure value, and with 4-point focus option. Head back to the camera module and trigger the camera. There is a display ribbon that shows the progress of the shots. Once that is done, we can go to the gallery and to see the progress of stitching or merging of the individual images. The merged file would be marked with an EB tag, and there is a new progress bar that indicates what's happening. The time it takes to merge the file on device has improved significantly from past app version by more than 30 to 40 seconds, and also no crashes were observed. Let us check the individual images and the merged file. Note that as of now, Arsenal writes back all the individual images into the SD card in native image plus JPEG format, and only not writing back the merged files as a DNG file, which is supposed to happen soon. Here are the images. This is a base exposure, this is a stopped down exposure, and this is a stopped up exposure. This is a merged PNG file provided by the Arsenal device. The image looks well exposed and I won't talk about its sharpness etc. as it being a low-res PNG file and it won't make a fair comparison. Let us compare it with the auto mode of the app and you can see the merged file has greater dynamic range and has opened up the shadows near the trees surrounding the lake, and then merging is also well done without any ghosting etc. The image could have been slightly warmer and also there is a strange magenta color cast on the whole image. Once merging is done, the merged image, that is a PNG file, could be copied to some online resource or shared on any social media. The next feature that I tested was the focus tracking. As I have seen on various Facebook groups, this is probably the stuff that made many people, including me, buy into the idea of Arsenal. The settings for this are in the same place where exposure bracketing settings were. Let us see how it performs. The auto mode is not yet active, so let us check the fixed mode. This can take up to 20 images and stack them into one super sharp image. At least that's the claim. Let us see how it does. But let us start with 4 images. Once triggered, there is an info ribbon displayed. Once all the shots are taken, it starts to merge all of them on device. In the gallery, the focus tagged image is labeled as FS. There is also the new progress bar. Let us check the individual images first. In the first image, the focus is on the foreground. In the second image, it's on the trees. And in the third, it's on the architecture. And in the last image, it's on the background. It took approximately 120 seconds to merge 4 images and provide us with a PNG file. Here it is. Unfortunately, I can't comment a lot on its sharpness as it is a low-res PNG image, but I see no ghosting in the merged image that I had observed previously. Hopefully, writing of high-res DNG file back into the SD card will come soon to make good comparison with manual Photoshop methods of focus tracking. The last feature that was of interest to many who backed was the long exposure blending. If you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on filters and filter systems, this is a decent method to get long exposure images. It can take up to 30 images to stack. I think it needs at least that much, if not more. These could be controlled at the setting panels, and I took 30 images as per my experience. It needs at least that much to get nice smooth effect on water. Once all the images are taken, it assembles them on device. It took approximately 4 minutes to complete. This is way better by 6 minutes over the previous versions. Though it crashed in between once, that's why I don't have the entire screen recording of the process. It successfully performed the merging, and here is the merged image. It is doing what it is supposed to do. Silky smooth waters and streaky clouds in the sky. Just for comparison, here is one with the individual image. Again, this is a PNG file that needs to be shared via social media or stored on an online resource like I discussed elsewhere. And here are some of my on-site final thoughts. So that's it, folks. This was my short demo, or rather probably it will be long when it's done, demo video of Arsenal in the wild and at work. If you ask me what is my overall impression, it's not bad, but it can definitely improve, and a lot of improvement is needed. But it has improved significantly from the time I got around 1.5 or 2 months ago. The speed has improved, performance has improved, but there is a lot of improvement that is needed, like the whole scene focus mode and speed of focusing can in various modes like multi-point focus and even the whole scene focus mode can improve. The speed of taking a shot, which many people including myself had issues with, has improved. One of the major things that is causing trouble for many people is connection, and one of the reasons I think is the cable. So the cable that Arsenal provides, the one that connects between camera and the Arsenal device, it's, to say the least, it's quite clunky. It's not very well made. This bends up a little bit after using it for some time. You can see it has bent a little bit, and this could be causing some issues to people who have connection troubles. And of course there are other issues with the Sony cameras and the Fuji cameras, which is totally different, but I think some of the issues caused in connection is this cable, which is not very well made. So my overall impression is that even though I'm not very happy with this investment, but I'm not disappointed. While I understand many of you have issues in using it, until now I had minimal issues in using it. Most of it was with regards to connection, and after the last 2 updates it has significantly improved. Even when I go away with my phone, when it's connected, when I come back it connects immediately. Even when I accidentally shut down the app and restart it, it connects and takes me back to what it was doing. So overall my experience have been good, and what were my expectation was that I was definitely not expecting it to be image processing engine. That's something still I will be doing it, but overall it takes images that are comparable to what I would have taken with the settings that I like for a particular image, and there is still some minimal amount of enhancements needed in Lightroom or other post-production softwares. If you ask a technical question and look at the histogram, I would say it is taking good images, and I hope this was helpful to others. So with that, I'm done. The latest update should be out soon or is already out there by the time this video is out, and I hope there would be some significant improvements with it as the creator is climbing, and I will try to take it out again to see how it performs. Till then, if you like my work, subscribe to my Facebook page at Keshava Mysore Photography or at Mysore Photography. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube as I will be doing more videos about this device soon. So namaste, bye, and thanks for viewing.